Hello friends, I am so glad you decided to join me today because we're going to have some fun playing with the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde eyeshadow palette that has a stunning color story, beautiful formulas, and many gorgeous mattes. And here is that palette. And most importantly, here's what it looks like inside. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm delighted that you've joined us today on this journey to create some beautiful, colorful, but tasteful eyeshadow looks. My name is Elise, and as a professional working makeup artist who absolutely loves helping those of us over 50 look and feel our confident best, I share makeup tips, techniques, and product information that works for us at this stage of our lives. So if this approach fits what you're interested in, I hope you'll subscribe and join us each Thursday for new videos. And for those of you who are returning, a huge thank you. It's wonderful to have you back again. Now let's get right to today's topic. I know that we often hear that as we get older, we should stick to neutral colors. And for most of us, neutral shades probably do feel more comfortable to wear, and they absolutely can be gorgeous and sophisticated. I personally love wearing all neutral looks, and here are a few of my favorite mostly neutral eyeshadow palettes. Unfortunately, this one from Tom Ford is no longer available, but it is stunning. And here's another one of my favorite palettes. As you can see, it's very well loved. It's from Juvia's Place. It's their Warrior 2 palette, which is all matte. And I don't think I've ever talked about this palette, but it is another just beautiful neutral palette from Lorac. This is Lorac's Luxe Diamond palette. And here's my most reasonably priced neutral palette from ColourPop. It's their Going Coconuts palette, and I'm sure many of you have this one. And my absolute favorite is this one from Sydney Grace called Enduring Love. It's the light version of this palette. I think many of us worry that colorful palettes can, quite frankly, look a little bit garish and, dare I say it, even clown-like. And I think many of us who are older often feel like we have to be younger for it to be okay to wear colorful eyeshadow. But we don't have to toss out our colorful eyeshadow when we turn 45 or 50 because there are ways to wear colorful eyeshadow that can also be beautiful and sophisticated no matter what our age. In fact, I've put a link in the description box to a video I did where I give 5 tips on how to make colorful eyeshadow wearable for women over 50 and 4 ways to wear it. Today we'll be focusing on several of those tips, but if you want to check out all 5 of the tips on how to wear colorful eyeshadow, I hope you'll take a look at that video. And of course, there are absolutely no rules with makeup. So today, let's toss aside any should nots that might be lingering in our thoughts and just have some fun with these gorgeous colors from the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde eyeshadow palette. And let's take one more look at these gorgeous colors. This palette first came out in 2019 and sells for $67. I'd eyed it for a very long time because I was so drawn to the colors, but I'd hesitated to get it because I'd heard that there were a few colors that were a bit harder to work with. However, when it went on sale for $47 during the big Sephora sale this past April, I couldn't resist. In addition to the beautiful color story, what I love about this palette is that there are quite a few matte shades, and having a number of mattes always provides a lot more versatility in terms of the number of different looks that we can create with the palette. So all in all in this palette, there are 9 mattes, 6 metallics, 2 sheer reflective colors, and there's also one glitter powder called Supermoon, which is quite frankly a little chunky, but it's not too bad to work with. Let me show you swatches of all these colors. Here are all the colors that go horizontally across the top row. Here are all the colors across the middle row horizontally. And you can see Supermoon at the bottom. That's the one that's a little chunkier. And here are the colors along the horizontal bottom row. I also love the fact that there are a variety of light and medium tone colors as well as 2 deeper colors. So basically in this palette, there's everything we need to create a day or a special occasion eyeshadow look. The looks I'm going to be creating today will focus on two of the tips for making colorful eyeshadow wearable that are included in the video that I mentioned earlier. The first tip is to pair colorful eyeshadow with neutral colors because the neutrals ground the more colorful colors. And tip number 2 is to focus on strategic placement of those colors. So let's go ahead and create some fun looks. I'm going to start off by combining these two colors, which are in the middle row, called Crash and Momentum. Start in the middle in the crease area where I want the most color initially, and just doing windshield as well as little circular motions so I make sure to get all of that crepey skin covered with color. And I'm also going to take it straight out so I help lift my eye area. And then with what I have left on the brush, I'm going to go in a little bit closer to the inner part of my eye area, and I'm also going to take it up toward my eyebrow just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more of that deeper color called Crash, just in this part where I really want to create a little bit more dimension, the outer edge of my eye. Then I'm going to take a more detailed brush, and I'm going to go into this shade called Utopia, and I'm going to put that a little bit toward the inner part of the crease. Tap it off, and then I'm going to just lift it slightly above the other color. As you can see, this just gives a little bit more interest to this area because I'm basically combining a warm color with a more neutral color. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this shade called Hot Mess, and I'm going to put that in just the outer crease and outer corner. Do it with a fluffier brush so I don't get quite as much concentration of color. Go back in and add a little bit more and bring it up a little bit in the crease area. I'm going to take a little bit more of Crash and just darken up that outer part of the crease with that original color we were using. So this could simply be a daytime look that's easy to do, combining just a few colors, but the color that gives it a little bit of pop is that orange color, which we might not ordinarily think to use. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this look one step further. You could certainly stop here and it would be a beautiful look, but I'm going to add a little bit more color. We're going to just play a little bit. I'm going to take just a little bit of this color Haze, which is that gorgeous, I don't know if I'd call it a teal, it's probably too light for a teal, but beautiful sort of bluish green, light bluish green color. And again, I'm taking a smaller brush for more precise placement. I just want to put that here in this outer crease area and outer corner of the eye. And actually, orange and blue are complementary colors, so it really makes the area pop a little bit, and yet the application is light enough and we're putting it in just one small area and blending it well. So it really looks soft. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush and do a little blending. Also going to put a little bit of this very lightish shade all the way across my lid area. Now let's take a look at the eye with the blue haze added. Next, I'm going to take this metallic called Mercury. I'm going to add just a touch of that. I don't know how well this is going to work. Actually, I'm getting more than I thought I would from the brush, just using the brush. A lot of times with this kind of color, you really need to use your finger, but I didn't want a huge amount of payoff. I just wanted to add a tiny bit. If I really wanted to deepen this, I could go in with my finger and we could get a much stronger color. Once again, I want to blend that in. And let's take a look and see what a difference it made to add this color, Mercury. All right, I think we're going to stop there with this eye. I'm going to take this soft violet color called Libra, start with that in the crease and the outer part of the eye. I'm holding my brush close to the end, which means I'm going to put a much lighter application of color on there. If I were to move my hand here, the color application would be more intense. But I just want a light dusting of color. This is really a pretty color. Starting in the crease, and then I'm just gradually bringing it up slightly. And then I'm going to bring it toward the nose area too. That could be a pretty look just on its own, but we're going to add just a little bit more to make it more interesting. I'm going to go back to Crash and Momentum and combine those and add just a little bit of that more neutral color. And I'm going to do that just slightly above the soft violet. I'm going to take a little bit of that lightest color, Momentum, and I'm going to put it under the arch of my eye, and I'm going to put it in the inner part of my eyelid as well, and on the inner corner. Next, I'm going to take this deeper color called Hot Mess and put it in the outer part of the crease and outer corner of my eye. I'm first going to lay it down a little bit more precisely with this smaller brush, just in the outer part of the crease and then on the outer corner of the eye. And then I'm going to blend. As you can see, I'm not getting much fallout with these colors, which is really nice too. Take a little bit of this lighter color and bring it a little further across the eyelid. So let's take a look and see how the eye is looking right now. So that can certainly be a soft look with color. Let's add a little bit more pizzazz. I'm next going to take Ultraviolet and we'll add a little bit of that deeper metallic purple. And I'm taking a smaller brush to really pinpoint where I want to put it. Again, just on this outer corner of the crease and on the outer corner of the eye. Now that's not showing up very well with the brush, so I think we're going to have to go the route of the finger. Oh yeah, this works a lot better. I'm going to take this very tiny brush and see if I can get more placement. I just want to place this more carefully. Can't reach quite into that area as effectively with my finger. Then I'm going to take this lighter pink metallic called Cosmic, and I'm going to put that on the inner part of my lid. So basically we'll have a gradient going from a light to a medium. And here's how it ends up looking. Now I'm going to go just a little bit deeper on the outer edge for a little bit more of a special occasion look, and I'm going to use the color Vortex. And here is Vortex. This is the deepest shade in the palette, so I'm going to use a fluffier brush and just get a light application in this part of the eye. And then do some blending. Now as you can see, just with that application of that deeper color, it really gives a little bit more dimension to that eye area. I'm going to go ahead and just deepen this look a little bit by adding a touch of that metallic blue to that outer area. And I'm going to see if I can get some on this little tiny brush to be more precise. So basically we've gone from a very light violet color initially to some beige that we included on the inner part of the crease area, and then we went with a deeper purple and a deeper blue on that outer corner. I've gone ahead and added eyeliner and mascara, and the eyeliner I added over here was a combination of some of the colors that I used up here. I used my eyeshadow as eyeliner. There is a little bit of this beige color and a little bit of a deeper brown color. And over here, I also used a deeper brown. I also tight-lined as well as did eyeliner a little bit on top of the lash line. So that is a little bit of a heavier look, more of a dramatic look for a special occasion. Now, I did use a lot of colors in this look over here. I used some pinks, I used some blues, I used some lavenders, I used some purples, and I also had a beige in here to begin with too. So because they're all in the same color family, in the blues and the purples, that keeps it a little bit grounded as well. So it doesn't look quite as bright as you might expect. If I had gone with an orange and a blue and a purple all at one time, I think we would have ended up with quite a different look. Over here we did use some blue and some orange, but again we used just a tiny bit and we placed it very strategically and blended it in. So I don't think it looks terribly jarring or too much, at least I hope not. So let's take a look at these final looks. So that completes our looks for today, and I hope you'll let me know in the comments section below which look you preferred. And I'd also love to know what your very favorite eyeshadow palette is. Is it a neutral palette or a more colorful palette? I hope you'll join me again next week, and until then, please stay happy and healthy and have an absolutely fabulous rest of your day. Take care.